Yo, what's good YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well today. Before we get into this trading video, guys, I do want to thank you for the support. Thank you for coming to the stream. For those of you guys who came yesterday, it's been a fun time. If you do want to follow me on Twitch, the URL is twitch.tv/Smarba. Come feel free to hang out at late nights. It's actually a really late stream, so a lot of you guys probably won't be able to make it, but we have a lot of fun, play some games, chit chat, and all of that good stuff. Now, you guys can see today we are in the web app, so we're going to do some web app trading. The reason why I like using the web app, guys, it's a little bit easier to navigate than the console, and obviously you can do it on the computer at any location that you have a computer on, so it just makes it a little bit easier to trade. Now, the downside to this video is that it is in full screen, meaning you can't type. I don't know why this is, but you can't type a player's name when you want to search specifically for a player. But what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to try to trade that 22,000 coins back up to a couple of 100,000 coins by the end of the week. And the way I'm going to do that is mass bidding on the players that I like to call the money players. Now, what I mean by that is these specific set of players for me, not for anybody else. This is for me. So what you have to do is you have to go experiment with players that work well for you. For me, the three players that really have worked phenomenal this year is Abate in the Serie A, right back for Milan, Constant and left back for Milan as well. And the reason why those two work well, guys, is because your options at left back and right back in the Serie A are very slim. So people making a four-back formation, four-back Serie A team, they're very constrained with what options they have in that position. I mean, Radu isn't really that great of a left back, so a lot of people just use Constant, and a lot of people use Abate for his pace over anyone else. So I've realized that those are the money players for me. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at the going rate. A lot of you guys ask me, how do I find the going rate of a player? And you guys are going to see exactly what I do. So I just leave it without putting a buy it now first. Then I kind of put the average of what I'm seeing them at. So I put it at 500 and then search it again and seeing how many pages of them there are and seeing what the going rate might be. So I see a couple of them at 1,400. I see a couple of them at 1,300. So now I'm going to go down to 1,400 and see how many pages of him they're going to be now. So again, we go down to 1,400, hit the search button. There's still a couple of pages of Constant. So that still means he's going to go for 1,400. And then we go down to 1,300. We see only one of him for 1,300, meaning you probably still can sell him for 1,400. So his going rate is going to be 1,400. Now you can check all of this on ultimateteamtrading.net as well, but I just like doing it manually because it really gives me an accurate price point to go ahead and target. And you'll notice now that I put the max price on 800. The reason why I did this is after incorporating the EA tax, after all of that good stuff, if I win him at 800 or less coins and I can sell him for 1,500, that's a great amount of profit for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mass bid on as many players here as possible up to an hour. So you guys can see this one's at 29 minutes. I'm just literally going to click on each one and keep bidding all the way up to an hour. Now, don't get into bid wars, guys. Do not get into bid wars. If you lose out on the auction, just let it go. Don't worry about it. A lot of people spend so much of their time getting into bid wars that they miss out on great deals and great auctions that you might be able to pick up other players. That's not the way to trade. You want to make trading as less time consuming as possible so that you can go out and get your bids on as many cards as possible and leave your coins out in a pool and let them hang for an hour. This is why I only bid for up to an hour, guys. The reason why I bid up to an hour is that I just make all of these bids, I walk away from the computer or the console or whatever, or I go do some work, whatever I'm doing at the time being, and then I'll just check back in an hour. Now, these for 150, I probably won't win them. You know, being realistic, you probably won't win them for 150. So if you want to come back in like 30, 40 minutes, seeing what they're at, maybe they go up to like 400 and you want to just hit another bid on them, by all means, go ahead and do so. But if you're just going to do this and just leave it at a 400 bid or leave it at a 150 bid, you probably won't win it. But I just want to throw my bid out there to make sure that just in case, you never know what might happen. You never know. Even the servers may go down. You don't know that, right? So you might as well throw out your 150 bid. You may be able to pick them up. Now, the next player, as I spoke about earlier in this episode, is Abate. He's just a great right back in the Serie A. A lot of people like using him on his teams and four-back Serie A teams. So that's the reason I've picked out these two players. They just sell really well, and the competition for them aren't as stiff. But you are going to have to find players that are going to work for you. Don't go out there and try this with the same two players or same three players that I'm trying it out with, because it won't work. If 1,000 people watch this video and then they all try to do this this with the same player, it's not going to work. What I want you guys to take away from these episodes that I've been creating is take away the concepts, take away the methods. Don't try to repeat exactly what I'm doing in terms of picking the player. Go ahead and try to repeat the method I'm doing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go find a team, find a club, find a league, whatever it may be, and try to find players that may work for you. Now, obviously, this was a little bit more difficult doing it with Abate because Di Chilio is obviously a right back for Milan who's Italian as well. So it was a little bit more difficult not being able to type in the player name because I was in full screen and I didn't want to tamper with it as much. But a couple of players that we're going to go ahead and do this with is some Bundesliga defenders. Now, here is why I do this with defenders, guys. Generally speaking, midfielders, attackers, and strikers are going to be more expensive than defenders. So if you have a low amount of coins, or around 20,000 or so coins or less, focus on defenders, center backs, left backs, right backs, even central defensive mids. Go for cheaper than cams, than left mids, than right mids, than wingers, all of that stuff. And you guys know that. A lot of people like investing coins into, not investing coins, but a lot of people like purchasing attackers because to them, that's what matters more. So all of these defenders go for much cheaper. Now, one defender that I want to go ahead and check out is probably Socrates because he is a great Greek defender. He's got a lot of pace, I believe. I think it's over 70. He's got decent work rates. I think he's a medium. Maybe he's a high medium. If he's a high medium, that's bad news. But Socrates is often used as a budget center back on Bundesliga teams. So we're just going to go see his going rate, and I see that it's at 850. Now, here's the problem with players that go around the 800 mark is that it's very hard to make a profit on them. You can make a couple of hundred coins on them, but other than a couple of hundred coins, it's going to be very difficult to get anywhere with a player. As you guys can see, a max bid at 500, you can't even find one of them on the market. So that's the really big issue with this when you're going for a player that only goes for about 850 to 900 coins. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bid more than 650 coins, and I'm going to try to sell them for 900, make a couple of hundred coins each on each one of these if I do win him. But the great thing is that you can go ahead and you don't have to deal with a lot of competition against players like these. So a lot of the times you'll probably win them for 650 coins. Now that time I stopped up until it got to an hour again. So keep in mind when you're bidding, don't go more than an hour because it's just going to be hard to maintain your trading. So if you stop at an hour, that's what you want to do. Now I'm going to move over to Boateng. Jerome Boateng plays for Bayern. He's going to be another great center back because a lot of people use them on their teams. Dante goes for a little bit too expensive for what I'm looking for. He goes for around 4,000 coins, it seems like. And right now, being what my coin total is, I don't have the amount of coins to mass bid on Dante. I don't want to just bid on two of them and try to trade. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind how many coins you have in order to trade for him. So don't try to go for players where you can only bid twice and then run out of coins. That's not going to be an effective method of trading. What I want to do is I want to be able to bid on 10 of him, try to win like 3 or 4 and make maybe 400 or 500 coins each. Eventually this adds up, guys. You know, this took me 10 minutes. It did not take longer than 10 minutes. After a while, you just keep doing this over and over. So that's why, as you guys can see, if you have a lot of coins, if you have like something like 80,000 coins, you can do this literally all day and triple your coins right away. You should not have a problem mass bidding on players if you have a lot of coins. So for those of you guys with 50,000 coins, 60,000 coins, don't look at purchasing expensive players and try to make profit on them. It just doesn't work. You want to go ahead and look at these little cheap players that are going to sell 100% because a lot of people use them on their teams. Don't look at, oh, Boateng is 81 overall, no one's going to use him. Don't look at it like that. A lot of people use Boateng on their Bundesliga teams, and he's just another, what I like to call, money player. All of these money players just work really, really well. The competition for them aren't stiff. And I'm able to sell them for around 1,300, 1,400 coins on a consistent level. Now, another reason why this is great doing this during this time is because of the team of the week. Anytime there's an insanely good team of the week, you'll know that there's going to be a lot of open bids on the market, a lot of them. So this is the perfect time to do this because you're going to have a lot of opportunities to go out there, win a lot of players. You guys saw that a lot of these players were listed at 150 right away, not even a buy it now, just a straight 150 and put it on auction. So what you can do is you can win these at a cheap rate. Now you guys are seeing my transfer target list here. I've gotten outbid on a lot of players, but that's completely fine. I'm just going to let the bids run out as they go on. So I'm going to just give it a quick check through. You guys will see the updated list after I let all the auctions run out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick check through, seeing which ones are about to expire. If I've been outbid by 100 coins, I'm just going to rebid on all of them. And then you guys are going to see what our results were after trading with these players. And you guys are going to see me list them up for auction. And then in our next episode, we'll see if they've sold or not. And we'll see how much profit we've made just in about 10 to 15 minutes of trading. So I will see you guys in just a bit. All right, guys, so you are looking at the transfer target list after about, I want to say 35 minutes. And I want to show you guys that you're not going to win every single bid you throw out. You'll see that I lost almost every single Boateng. This is completely fine. All this means is that it's a very competitive time at this current time on Ultimate Team. So what you can do is two things. You can walk away with what you've won, and I'll show you guys my transfer list real quick here. I've won. Oh, by the way, I obviously still do all the chemistry style trading. You guys can see I have a bunch of them listed on the market, but you'll see that I got one of them here, two of them, two Boatengs out of all the ones I bid, two Constants out of all, three actually out of all the ones, and only one Abate. That's completely fine. That's actually pretty successful. I can make around 600-700 coins on each of these, which is great. That's awesome. But going back to my transfer target, you'll notice the ones that are about to expire here. This one going for 1,200, I don't need to bid on that. This one going for 1,200, I also don't need to bid on that. This one going for 1,100, I might still be able to make a profit on that, so I'm going to go ahead and bid on that. And oh, I already got outbid, so we're going to go ahead and forget about that. But this one at 400, we can probably go ahead and actually watch for the next 10 minutes as I am bidding on other players while I'm doing this. So literally the next process, the next step into trading is just monitoring your bids after you come back for about 30 minutes. So the ones that I've lost, who cares? The ones that I can still bid on and see if I can win, I will go ahead and get into a bid war on. Do you guys get what I'm doing now? So for all of you guys who had questions on what exactly I do, this is exactly, you know, step by step what I do. I don't look at any of the trades. The ones I lose. Who cares? I come back, then I do a little bit of monitoring, see which ones I can still win, see which ones will still net me a profit, and I'll go ahead and rebid on them. So Socrates I can still probably sell for 900 coins, so I'll go up to 700 on him. This one I won't go ahead and bid on. This one I won't go ahead and bid on. I'll just let these run out and see how it goes. So that's exactly what you want to do with trading. Out of all the ones I bid on, I won only a total of 5, and that's average. That's very average. So, you know, winning 5 of them is successful. Don't worry about not winning all of them. But after not winning the majority of them, you want to go back to your transfer target and just do a little bit of monitoring, you know, check it out, see what you can still make a profit on and make some bids, throw out some bids, see what you can do. You know, this one out bidding for 300. Why not throw a bid? Get into a bid war. Who cares? You might walk away with Constant at around 800 coins, make a sweet little almost 1,000 coin profit on them. Why not? You know, that's just the easiest method to trade, guys. The most simplest method. And this is exactly what I did the first time around. But obviously, still keep doing that chemistry style method, man. That chemistry style method is so clutch. You can make a lot of coins with the chemistry style method. Like I said, you can still see a bunch of them on the market now, which I will get the majority of my coins from. And I'll still go over if you guys want me to go over, but this method also works if you are struggling with the chemistry style method. This method is very effective. And hopefully we can sell all of these for the next time, and you guys will be able to see how much profit we've gone ahead and made. So we'll list those up, and then we will see how much profit will be made in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this trading episode, guys. If you did have any questions for me, or if you do have any questions for me, rather, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to go over them. And as always, guys, if you want to see daily FIFA content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Catch you guys all tomorrow. Later.